Day 3 of the DNC is underway. President Obama, Vice President Biden, and VP nominee Tim Kaine speak tonight on Hillary Clinton's behalf. Last night, her husband Bill tried to make voters swoon by recounting their love story.
I married my best friend. I was still in awe after more than 4 years of being around her at how smart and strong and loving and caring she was. She's insatiably curious. She's a natural leader. She's a good organizer. And she's the best darn change maker I ever met in my entire life.
The former president traced their life together over the years, but he left one year in particular out.
When I became president, with a commitment to reform health care, Hillary was a natural to head the health care task force. In 1997, Congress passed the Children's Health Insurance Program. 97, she also teamed with the House Minority Leader, Tom DeLay. 1997 was the year Chelsea finished high school and went to college. Hillary's done a pretty fine job of being a mother. Now, fast forward. In 1999,
well, a lot of people noticed no mention whatsoever of what happened in 1998, the year the president was impeached for lying about his extramarital affair with Monica Lewinsky. A lot to talk about. We had to wait and hold it all in till 5 o'clock. Greg, what do you think?
Well, it's obviously skipped 98 because that year sucked. It was terrible. You know what? There's
for
nothing
you too,
to me.
Right?
It was terrible for everybody. A nauseating tale of courtship does nothing to persuade me that a person is capable. I thought it was very charming, but he was trying to humanize an android. The chronological speech, we were talking about this earlier, it's like watching a plane's progress on in-flight TV when you're sitting and you're watching the plane go from New York to California. That was the speech. When he starts in 1972, you're going, oh, my God, this is going to go on forever. It was like a Lifetime movie without the commercials for the Vermont teddy bears. And it was meant to put a romantic gauze over the lens that's focused on Hillary, but it just made you feel like he was covering up something. And I don't know. Not a fan. But he did a good job.
But you said it wasn't persuadable. All right, we're gonna have Dana back clean up here on that. Okay, Dana, what did you think?
You want me to go last?
No, I think you need to help now, actually.
So I always have two minds of the speech. When it first started, I thought, okay, is he reading from the Wikipedia entry for Hillary Rodham Clinton, because it was very chronological, and I don't like books that read that way, biographies. I don't like speeches that go, and then I did this, and then I did this. And in this case, there were 3 times in a row that she did something and filed a report, which to me, that's not like the change that you're looking for. However, I think the people in the hall loved him. And I think that if you are a Democrat and you are listening to Bill Clinton, you were persuaded. And I know that there are conservatives who think that speech was horrible, and why didn't he talk about that he had an affair on her, and why didn't he do... But, of course, he was never actually going to do that in this speech. I do believe that they are best friends, and I think all marriages are different, and that the Democrats have made peace with that, and that they believe that he supports her fully, and that they are on board. They are okay with it, and I think that it was certainly a good net plus for him and for her last night, and for Chelsea. I mean, look at her face. Yeah. Chelsea was so moved, and to have your dad talk to you about that in front of millions of people must have been amazing.
Especially when he left out the affairs.
But the family knows about the affairs, and they have dealt with it.
Yeah.
I did not have sex
with 1998.
Oh, my gosh. All right.
1998 was a pretty good year for me. I got married.
What makes you think 98, it ended in 98?
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot going on. I was listening to that speech going, you've got to be... Is anyone believing any of this? I had a different takeaway.
Yeah, you were tweeting
I was tweeting. I said,
in rapid succession.
Hey, call me crazy, but I don't believe a word of any of this. And I ended with lying Bill because almost everything he was saying, I just didn't believe anything he was saying because of the affairs. He said the moment he met her, she didn't want to, she turned him down a few times. This is a love story. My best moment in my life was when Chelsea was born. And I'm thinking,
but wait, can't that be true?
So many.
You don't think it's true that the best moment of his life was when his daughter was born? You don't think that's the best moment of it?
But I don't think the rest of the stuff was true. I don't think that he was pursuing her. I mean, because we know what happened in the years of the White House.
No, I
years,
see.
and
I
he
mean,
was
I know that a lot.
fixing others.
Like if you're a liberal Democrat, you went into that speech thinking it was going to be great. If you're conservative, you're thinking the speech is going to be a whitewash.
But also, I wanted to hear something bigger than, oh, she's amazing and she's the best, wife on the planet.
Well,
I wanted to hear something.
He kept
I wanted to hear
saying
some
change
message in
maker.
it. Yeah, and that irked me when he said you can drop her into any trouble zone and she'll make it better. And all I'm thinking is
And you wrote
Benghazi and Syria.
Yeah.
Really? So I had a hard time. I didn't like the speech.
When I
at
heard
all.
the word
I didn't like it at all.
change maker, I thought of those like little coin dispensers.
Change for a buck.
Yeah, that people put on their apron at the races.
Yeah.
Young people have no idea what you're talking
No,
about.
or the Clintons
Back
trying to
in
make
the
a
80s.
dollar out of 15 cents. All right, Juan, were you charmed, persuaded, moved by it? Do you think it hit all the right notes for people to say, you know what, this is a interesting partnership, family, marriage, and yes, I like the way he spoke about her. She's someone I can trust.
Absolutely. Look, Bill Clinton was terrific last night. I think it was the second great speech given here. Michelle Obama the night before, Bill Clinton last night. I'm so entertained by my colleagues this afternoon because apparently they all have flawless relationships.
Oh!
And not to mention the number of divorces on the other side by the other candidates.
Haters gonna hate.
Let's not talk about that.
Okay.
But I will say this. I really loved the speech, and I think that it was particularly powerful because it felt like intimate. It felt like someone was telling you a story about someone they know.
Did you feel touched by Bill?
I did. And I tell you
say
what,
he grabbed her from behind?
when I listen to you guys, I think this blows. You know what I mean?
What was powerful?
Let me just say, it was extremely powerful to hear.
Yes, but powerful.
No, because it was extremely powerful in saying, here are concrete examples of how she helped people. And you can go on and say, oh, I don't like her. She's evil. She's Machiavellian. She's the devil.
She did put
but
people
you know
in
what?
concrete.
Here she was actually making change in terms of education, in terms of helping people who were involved with human trafficking.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
She got that rapist.
Instead of making fun of people
Remember
who
when she
have
got that rapist
disabilities.
off? She got that rapist off and she bragged about it and laughed
this is
about
what
it.
I'm talking about.
Remember
You
that.
guys want to demonize her, and here was
No,
Bill
we're
Clinton
not that hard.
demonizing her.
No.
Okay.
That wasn't about her. It wasn't that powerful of a message last
was
night.
hugely
They had
powerful.
to tone him down. He has charm.
Well, the
and charisma,
expectation level
and
is
he
high,
didn't have
but
it last
Clinton is
night.
very good. Well, speaking of husbands or ex-husbands, one of mine is speaking tonight, Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom.
Be
Thank you for
specific.
yeah. Bill didn't only talk about their love affair last night, he also touted his wife's record as America's top diplomat.
As Secretary of State, she worked hard to get strong sanctions against Iran's nuclear program. She flew all night long from Cambodia to the Middle East to get a ceasefire. She backed President Obama's decision to go after Osama bin Laden. She launched a team to fight back against terrorists online. She put climate change at the center of our foreign policy.
Okay, so I know everyone's going to take an issue with the climate change thing, but Dana, there was discussion before that Hillary Clinton is hawkish, right? There's been comparisons say actually she's been very proactive in terms of the military. She got an endorsement from General Allen, who's also speaking.
Well, when she became a senator, she was put on the Armed Services Committee.
Yeah.
And she worked very hard to make good relationships with many Republicans and Democrats on that committee. And I think that that's one of the reasons that when she got to be Secretary of State, she ends up with good relationships with the military, and she has maintained those beyond the Senate into being Secretary of State. And then she also...
He mentioned Newt, by the way. He said Newt.
Right, and then and John McCain.
Yeah.
And then in her book, she actually writes that she wanted to go after Assad. She did not agree with President Obama's decision on Syria. And actually, she was in concert with Bob Gates at the Defense Department, Leon Panetta at the CIA, and Chuck Hagel, then again at the Defense Department. So I think there's a case to be made that she is more hawkish, but she tries to hide that.
Right.
She tries to hide that. And so when we get into the more general election and there's a debate against Donald Trump, certainly that's going to have to be fleshed out.
All right, Bowling, last night on Hannity, Newt was on the phone right away after the speech, and he explained and I guess clarified, illuminated some of the comments, saying, wait, I'm not going to praise her as it relates to foreign policy.
Well, yeah, because when Bill first finished, there were a lot of pundits, even on this network, saying she did a great job, and I wholeheartedly disagree. I'd agree more with Newt. So Bill says that you drop her into any hot spot, any trouble zone, and she'll make it better. And I'll say it again, Benghazi, she didn't make it better. She made it worse, especially for 4 families. And then the Iran deal. The Iran deal is still brewing.
Yeah.
Iran continues to violate the deal, and they continue to test ballistic
They
missiles.
haven't violated one aspect of the deal. They have held to the deal explicitly. And you know what? You know what's different here?
Juan, you're 100% wrong.
How am I wrong? Tell me what they violated.
They
Tell me
tested
one
ballistic
thing.
missiles.
That's not in the
They've
deal.
enriched uranium.
Oh my God! No, this is outside of the deal. You're saying
Coordinating
that
with
things that
Al-Qaeda.
outside.
I will tell you, they have violated probably three or four aspects of the deal,
You don't like the deal.
And will continue to throughout the election.
You know what? This is your fantasy. This is just like you guys going on about, oh, why didn't he mention that year? You know the reality? Her popularity soared because she was seen as keeping the family together. And
they
in
made
terms
a
of
deal,
foreign policy,
and Bill Clinton pats her on the back for the deal. And I will tell you,
I think that's been accomplished.
They violated the idea, three things in the deal. Testing ballistic missiles, enriching uranium beyond the level that they're allowed
They're
to.
not doing anything in violation of the deal, but I know that it is a Republican talking point to say, what did Hillary Clinton ever accomplish as Secretary of State?
And the Iran deal will be a black mark on her record.
I think it's safe to say that since Hillary was in power, the Middle East became the Middle Ages. We have seen some very ugly people come around, killing a lot of people.
Beheading
We're returning
priests.
to the 7th century, which is actually prior to the Middle Ages, I believe. So
yeah, but
that's on her watch.
There was an Arab Spring,
which,
as I recall,
yes,
right? And there was
disaster.
And before that, there were wars, right?
Right.
And so we had Sunni-Shia conflict, I believe. So a lot going on here.
Yeah.
And Hillary Clinton comes in, and I believe was instrumental not only in helping to end 2 wars, but also in getting Osama bin Laden.
But not win wars.
Okay, but we also have to talk about what have you done for me lately, and you see priests being beheaded and crucifixions and people burning in cages and being drowned. It's horrific. Something's got to be done. Coming up,